War hands, welcome. Thanks for tuning in to the technique of the week. I'm going to be covering in this video the elbow jab. So I'm leading with the jab punch, and I'll be following up with the elbow jab. So that's going to be with my lead arm, that arm that's out front there. Now when you see this particular elbow, it's not the other ones. I'm just adding in different techniques among them, throwing different combinations. But the elbow jab is that one right there where you see I have an open hand. It's moving up along the same side of my head. I'm thrusting that elbow straight up. And I'm making contact with the opponent with the point of my elbow. So because this is a short range tactic, it's very important that I lead with something else or I mix it in with a combination so I can make sure that my distance is correct when I'm actually throwing this. A really great and simple way is just to lead with the jab. So I throw my jab out there, I make contact, I make it crisp and clean. I disrupt my opponent's timing, their balance, their vision. And a lot of times their reaction is to move in once they've been hit. And as they move in, they're being drawn in, and I'm following up with that elbow jab right behind it. And so that's the purpose of me just leading with something like the jab and then following up. It's important that I have a high guard, that I keep my hands up nice and high, keep my rear hand protecting the other side of my chin as I throw this, because I am closing the distance, so I'm moving into closer range. Chances of being hit, it's a fight, so you make sure you're protected. So a good high guard when I'm moving in on that elbow. So here's the side view. You can see I'm moving my hand, open palm, right across right alongside of my head as I throw it. There you go, throwing that jab out there, following up with the elbow. Good high guard, staying good and protected. Now my footwork you'll be able to see in a little bit, but I'm stepping with the jab, and then I'm stepping again and sliding as I throw the elbow up behind it. And that's where my maneuverability comes, my mobility, when I'm covering that distance, that step and slide tactic. It's important when I'm developing these tactics, these techniques, that I'm able to figure out my game plan or my strategy that I can implement it in. Making sure I'm at the correct distance, what my game plan is, what angles I'm throwing from, and what my targets are. And my opponent will kind of determine that as well, because each opponent is different, creates a different circumstance. I have to figure out how to create my strategy to adapt to those opponents. Nice and sharp on the target. You get a lot of torque with this maneuver. The elbows create so much force because it's a shorter limb. You're creating a shorter limb, so you can get a lot more hip torque into it. So from here's the full plum. I'm working outside plum. So I have outside plum ties. I'm pretending my opponent has inside plum ties, and I'm working inside of his plum and throwing the elbow. When I come underneath with that lead arm, I'm coming up underneath the opponent's arm, right in between his plum, working my hand up, and creating just a little space and throwing that elbow straight up towards the chin, the face, the nose, whatever I can hit. I'm just moving back to the regular technique on the bag so you can get another look at it. In just a moment, I'll get a wider view so you can see my footwork. So right here, you can see my footwork. I'm stepping with the jab, and I'm stepping again with the actual elbow and sliding. Step and slide at the same time. Staying on the balls of my feet, my knees bent, high guard. Keeping my elbows in, my hands up protecting my face. So that's going to be it for this week, guys. Stay tuned for more content. These are my techniques of the week, so this is kind of the format that I'm using right now. Next week we'll be covering checking and countering off the check. So enjoy. You guys have a good week. Tune in again.